What is going on, y'all? Welcome to Joel Friday TV. I am Joel Friday. Welcome to the show. A few announcements before we get started. Happy Monday. Hit that like button. Smack it. Lay the smack down the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and a message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, we are live Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific time on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Punchy.tv, and on any of those platforms you can watch, and you can also call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. You see the number there. You can call in at any point during the show. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV, or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button over there. Send your question or comments. I'll read them live on air. You guys know how it goes. You guys know how it works. Amazing stuff. How was you guys' weekend? Mine was well spent. Well spent. Lin Yan Chin with the super chat out the gate says, the Prance Report. Twinkle, twinkle toes for G-Sauce with your prince. Joel Friday. Right on, Lin Yan Chin. I appreciate that. Right on. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. You the one. Amazing stuff. What are we getting into today? Oh, we got some stuff. What's up, Instagram? I'm just looking at the chats really quick here before we get started. We're about to get into the topic at hand. What are we talking about? Oh, we talking about testing loyalty. We get into it. And we're going to talk a little bit about judgment. Oh, we're getting into it. We got some stuff we're getting into. Shout out IG chat as well. Tell your mama to call, Joel, says Serge. That is funny. Serge says, I'm a rap again. No, Serge. No rap. Serge actually got a little bit of rap in there. He got a little flow. All right, anyway. Women testing men's loyalty. Listen, this is not a new thing. This is a thing that's been around for like ages, centuries. Nugget Man says, repent, Joel. This is something that's been around for years and years and years, where the women love to test the men's loyalty. Men do it too, but not on the scale that women do. Women love to test men. And you don't want to hold, it's not good, right? But you don't want to hold it against them because there's a reason why they do it. They can't help it. But there's a reason why women love to test men, right? If he's cheating, if he's gonna do this, or if he's gonna do that, or is he a good man, or is he a bad man, or all that stuff. They love to test and like throw things out there to decide whether or not if this guy will pass the test, right? You heard it before, ladies and men, but ladies mostly have a checklist, right? Of all the things that a man better do. And if he doesn't, to the curb, bye, right? We know that to be true for most people. That's a genderless thing. But women really have that. And I'm going to tell you why women have that. And I have some examples to show you guys. So one reason why women have that is, like I said, they can't help it. But what they're doing is they're just protecting their ego, right? They're protecting themselves. They think that they're protecting themselves. They don't want to be hurt. They don't want to be I'm trying to use appropriate words. they don't want to be hurt. We'll just say that. They're protecting themselves from like future pain, they're predicting the future in a sense in their own way and trying to avoid any problems from happening. So they test. But it's not good though, because men fail tests. As I'm saying, you're going to end up never getting with anybody because men fail tests because it's not in anybody's job to be testing another person. That's not up to you. That's playing God. Let God deal with the person and it'll be revealed to you if you should be with this person or not, right? You don't want to test people. People fail tests. And women love to do it. And I want to get into that. But first, I want to start off with, I'm going to play you guys some clips. Hopefully, I don't get flagged for these clips because this is from a very popular YouTube channel. It's called UDY. And on this channel, it's like they get with the ladies. I don't know if they do men, but the show is about ladies testing their men to see if they're loyal or not, right? It's like a loyalty test for men. Lord have mercy. And it's interesting, but it's a very popular channel, and I'm hoping that I can get through these clips. I just have a couple. Get through these clips without any problems here, okay? So let's just jump right into it. Joel, you just failed tests. There's Joel talking about girls again. You know me. Got it in there. If I don't do it, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Who's going to help the folks in relationships and in marriages? Who's going to do it? I'll do it because you ain't. I'm just playing. Let's get to it. This is from UDY. Woman questions boyfriend loyalty. Woman who questions boyfriend loyalty puts him to the test to find out if he's cheating on her or not. Here's the first clip. Here we go.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
Good to see
so
you.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Come on in. Like I said, the cameras are already rolling. We're just finishing setting everything up.
Today we're placing Brianna's boyfriend Marco to a loyalty test.
You can just sit over there.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want anything to drink? I have wine, water.
I'll take some water.
Water?
Yeah.
You don't want any wine?
I'm good.
So that's the actress right there. That's not the girlfriend. You guys probably got this, but in case those who didn't, that girl right there is the actress that is tempting the boyfriend, which is sitting on the couch. He works for a moving company and she's pretending that she's trying to sell her home. And he's there to, do his job, but that's the actress trying to tempt him. And then the real girlfriend is behind the scenes in the wing wondering. Here we go.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Boring. Okay.
So far, how do you think he's doing?
He's being professional, but we're gonna find out.
It was time to see if Marco would remain loyal.
I know I was joking with him about that, but honestly, you do kind of seem like my type. Muscular. Yeah. So how many more hints should I drop for you to realize I'm trying to get you to ask me out?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would you want to go out?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
Damn, okay. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. How's that cold?
I don't know. It kind of seems like you're... Let me see this.
Like what?
I don't know, using me as a rebound?
No, you're you're typically the kind of guy I would go for. Honestly, he's not even my type. I don't know, I find you attractive and I'd actually want to get to know you. If you would want to too.
Depends.
Yeah, if I was just trying to make him jealous, would you mind?
Well, what are you trying to?
maybe like, do more to make him jealous.
Okay.
Like, would you mind?
I mean, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Got him!
Oh damn. I mean,
Yeah?
Got
I would
him!
probably go with whatever. I mean, if that's the end goal.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely could. Do you have like you don't have a girlfriend, right? Or
No, I actually don't have.
you don't have a girlfriend?
Is that a fail already?
Well, in that
Picked.
case, what time are you off today?
Ooh! Oh man, I don't know if this is staged or not, a real thing or fake, but we're gonna entertain it as if it's real. Okay. Listen, because this is real. This is a real scenario, though. This is how women feel. This is how men feel as well. This is a real life scenario. So we're gonna entertain it if it's real. Listen. The biggest mistake you ever make, ladies, is trying to put your man to the test. I'm telling you, men are gonna fail. Listen. This doesn't prove if he has cheated or not. This doesn't prove that, right? This doesn't prove if he's done or not, because what you're doing is you're hanging candy in front of the baby. Why would you do that? He may have been so loyal to you and on the right path, but this man, you hung candy in front of the baby and he took it. Well, we don't know if they did stuff, right? But that could have been the first time he actually messed around, and it was your fault. Don't test your men. For one, if you're not married, no such thing as cheating anyway. You're dating to find out if you want to be with this person. And then eventually it gets to the point where you guys see that you like each other, and then you get married, and then boom, right? But let's entertain this. Is that the biggest mistake is testing, because men fail and you don't want to do that. And especially the average man, the one that's not waking up, the one that is, you don't want to test them. And even the man that is waking up, you don't know nobody knows what they'll do until the situation arises. So you don't want to test the man. You don't want to do that. Because if you look, you'll find. And that's the thing too, is a lot of the times ladies as well love to wonder, what's his phone look like? What does his message look like, right? And then they'll test that as well. They get the passcode, they do all these things, and they think that that's a sign of them being loyal to their girlfriend. They think that's a sign of them being loyal by giving the passcode. But then once the girl gets the passcode and she's looking, she's gonna find, ladies, I'm telling you that if you look, you're gonna find. And it's not because he's guilty. He could be completely innocent, right? He could have a clean phone. But once a woman starts looking, her mind is already expecting something. So it's already distorted. She already got the lie in her head. So the enemy's gonna make something up in her mind about it, and it's not even gonna be real. It cannot even be true. It cannot even exist. But she already has an agenda in her mind that she's believing into, a lie, and she's gonna see something and believe it, and it may not even be real. Don't look, because that's not what's important, right? You don't want to be worrying about that. And if he's that type to cheat, if you're paying attention and you're working on yourself, you will know if he has that type of behavior before you even decided to marry him or whatever. You would already know. So you don't want to look, because you're going to find. And it has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with you. You're the one that's insecure about it. You're the one that's looking for something because you want to judge him. You want to find out. You want these things to happen, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous. Okay? And it's not an excuse for men to be acting up and for men to have multiple different situations, especially if they're married. What the? You know what I mean? That didn't make sense. But it's not an excuse for men to do what they're doing. Men got to get their stuff together, right? It shouldn't even be these situations, but life happens, things come up, and mistakes happen, right? That's just a reality. And it's not an excuse, but the point is the women shouldn't be testing, the men shouldn't be doing it, but the women shouldn't be testing them to see if they're doing it. That's a fault on you, ladies. Why are you so curious? But anyway, it doesn't prove that he cheated in this video just because he failed here. Doesn't prove that he's cheated in the past, that he's a cheater. You know, he just was tempted now because you tempted him and now he fell for it. But here's another one. Different situation, different scenario that I want to show you guys. Is this time the woman puts her boyfriend to the test, but he passes and proves his loyalty. Let's get to it.
I mean, you know what? I respect that. You and Angel, if you're super serious about her, like, I can respect that. Like, it makes you more attractive in my opinion. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm sorry that, like, if it made anything awkward or anything like that. Yeah.
I do feel like a huge sense of relief right now.
Okay.
Ultimately, he did what I wanted him to do, and he pretty much pushed her to the side. I could see how there may be a piece of him that was like, oh, well, we just are getting started here. But ultimately, I don't know, I consider that a pass.
Yeah, okay.
I feel
She's all excited.
So Rachel had made her move and Jade turned her down, which to Angel meant that he successfully passed this test.
Do you want to tell him about any of this? Do you want to go back upstairs and tell him that you put him to the test?
God, no, I don't think I don't think I want to tell him about any of
You
it.
don't have to if you don't want to, but you can if you want to too.
I think if it would have gone a totally different direction, we could have exposed everything. But for now, I think we should keep this on the down low.
Cool.
Okay. So then, do we expose her then? Because she wanted to expose her man for cheating if he was gonna cheat, but he didn't cheat. So now should we expose her that she hired a crew? You know what I mean? Like, what about her? What about her? And a lot of the times, the ladies aren't aware of themselves. They're not observing their own actions. They're not observing their own evils within, right? They're not paying attention that they went through this whole process, which was evil in the first place, to set up the man. That's what it really is. And they may not intentionally be thinking. That's what I'm saying. Blind, they can't see, but you're not even realizing your own evils. You set up this whole scenario to test your man, to set him up. That's really what you did. You set him up. And this guy, the second guy, so-called happened to pass the loyalty test, but that still doesn't prove that he hasn't cheated in the past. That doesn't prove nothing. That just proves if he didn't do it then, right? He didn't fall for that one. But you still don't know if he cheated in the past. He still doesn't prove anything. And now this girl's excited. Woo! He ain't cheat on me. Woo! Meanwhile, and then the guy's like, well, can we tell him that we did this? She's like, no. I don't want to tell him that I did all this because he's clean. But if he was guilty, she would expose him. The cameras all come out. She'll be on camera pointing the finger like, you know what I mean? But now let's not tell nobody about this. No, he's clean. Let's not tell him that I'm behind the scenes setting him up. Unconscious of the own evils that you're doing. Isn't that amazing stuff? If you expose people, you will be exposed. That's the rule of law. That's the rule of the universe. God made it up somewhere. If you expose others, it'll be done to you. I thought that's so interesting to me. I find that so interesting. Ty says, I'd fall every time. If they're going to throw it at me, I'm taking it. No, Ty, that ain't the answer. Ty over here celebrating it. Oh, if it's that me, I'm ready to go. No, Ty. Especially if you're married. Come on, man. But you don't know what will happen if you try to set your man up like that, your husband or whatever. You don't want to do that. I'm telling you. It's not a good idea, ladies. And ladies love to do it. That's why I'm putting emphasis on it. Because ladies love to do that because they want to know. But all you're doing is setting them up. And it's all about judgment. And it's all about because you're insecure. I got people that want to talk about this. But I'm going to say this last thing. And then I'll get to some calls. Is if they are to cheat, the woman or the man in a situation, first thing, never say that you'll never do it. First big setup. Never say that I'm never going to cheat. I would never do that. You don't know what you would do. You don't know. So delete that from your mind. If they are to cheat and the woman wants to go through this whole process or whatever, or even if she overreacts, she or he does not know the other person, the spouse. She does not know him. That's the big problem. That's the big problem. That's the cause of most divorce, all divorces. Judgment. Because if you knew who you were getting married to, if you knew their true intention, if you can see their true intention and you knew, right? Then if that were to happen, you would, for one, have an understanding heart about it. You would have understanding, right? And for two, you wouldn't judge them as bad or good because you know the true intent of that person. Oh, I married a man or a woman who either wants to do right or is trying to do right by me or whatever, right? Good intentions. If you know the person, then it makes your life a whole lot easier. That's why you're supposed to let things happen naturally, for one, and let God intervene in these type of situations. Because when it's brought together as it should be, there's a different type of understanding that you have about it. So you're not overreacting when mistakes come up, right? You're not, and you may a little bit, or you may feel the pain of it, whatever, but then when you be still again, you come back to the present, then you realize that, you know what? Like, what happened? Why did he or she, stumble? There has to be a reason, because I know that the person I married is a decent person. They mean well. They don't mean me any harm. They're not trying to hurt me. Right? What happened here? Something happened here that I'm not understanding. Right? You got to always have a forgiving heart. As hard as it is, that's how you got to be. And it's that much easier to have that when you know who you're getting into a marriage with. So I'm telling you, those out there trying to chase this kind of stuff, chase women, chase men, chase a relationship, chase marriage, and I understand. I was one of those people chasing. But when I realized I need to stop chasing and just let it happen naturally, it's a different type of situation. Different type of scenario, different type of relationship, different type of everything. And it's just more clarity. You see clear. But when you chase, you find trouble. You find trouble and you get these scenarios. That's all I want to say about that. I'm going to get to some calls. Some people want to talk about it. And all that good stuff. real quick, Lin Yan Chin, biology makes it so we are ready to seed fertile soil at any moment, referring to men. It doesn't mean we will submit to the call of biology unless you mouth breathed. So that's Lin Yan Chin. But I don't entirely disagree with what he's saying. That's true. Come on. Let's be real. Especially if a man is, anyway. Be careful is all I'm saying. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. I appreciate it. Let me go to a call. First time caller, Lala out of New York. Lala, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Jolie, how are you?
Who?
Jolie. Joe.
Who's Jolie?
Okay, Joel.
Who's Joel? Joel.
Jolie. You keep acting like you're not acting right, so that's why you changed your name.
No, I need you to Joel, or I'm hanging up.
Joel.
Okay, thank you.
Joel.
Thank you, Lala. Go ahead.
So I disagree with you. So I'm gonna say real quick because I have to go. But my whole thing is, I do agree that you shouldn't be like entrapping a person in a partner, right? I definitely agree with that. But my thing is, where do you hold the man accountable for having standards? Why does it have to be somebody having to entrap you for you to see that there's a possibility for you to fall? Why couldn't you just say, hey, I am in a relationship? Like, what's the problem?
Wait, so say that last part again. Are you saying the man, why shouldn't the man say what?
Why do you guys not hold them accountable for being truthful?
Hold who accountable?
The man. He's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. You know, if you're going to get what you're looking for. But why, even if I put you into a trap situation, right?
Yeah.
Why does it have to go to, oh, you're going to just fall for it? Why can't you say to him, like, no, I'm in a relationship, I'm in a commitment, and then stay true to your word?
Right.
Like, where does that standard come in? Right.
And that's why I said also in the monologue is that the man, it's not an excuse for the man to fall for it or whatever the case is. It's not an excuse for the man's behavior for falling for it, because the man, that's his responsibility too as well. But the point was that the women shouldn't be setting them up.
See, when you said but, you just excused everything else before that. You know that, right?
No,
so we're not in the
I just said, no,
you put a but there.
I said, that's what I said. I said, no, it's also on the man as well for him falling for it, for sure, especially knowing that he made this commitment to this person and then now he's, taking it back. He also, there's consequences to that as well. I agree.
Yeah, but I don't know why y'all don't be like pressing the man, but like, yo, stop lying. Like, who be lying? How old are you for you to be sitting there? You in the moving industry, and you lying? You sitting on somebody's couch lying? Like, how do you look? That's like, y'all should be really getting on him. Like who does that? No, you're too old to be lying.
I agree. For one, there's no way that he should be in that scenario in the first place. If he finds himself in there and then he finds himself caught up, that's why I say you find all these things out about a person before you get married, so how they are, how they act, these things. But what's really important too at the same time is understanding the person you're getting into this stuff with, right? It's not just about the mistakes they make or the things that they say or don't say. It's also about their intent. Do you understand their intent? Would you agree or disagree with that?
I agree, but if you never are in a position like that, right? And if your spouse is never even put in a situation, what are the signs that you're going to tell that, oh, they can weather that situation? How can a person know?
So say that one more time because your phone is kind of low a little bit.
I said, if the person was never put in that situation, right?
Okay.
How would you then know your partner is gonna pass versus fail it?
You don't know. You don't test it. You don't know. Okay. And because he may not even be in those type of situations or whatever. All you need to know is, for one, before you guys even get married, you guys, for one, need to know each other enough, right? You guys need to know each other enough. And are you guys both doing the best you can to do what's right, be what's right, overcome, and working on yourself. That's what's important. If that's not the case, and you're not seeing that in each other, working on themselves, then you guys are wasting time anyway, because you guys aren't going to take each other serious in the first place. So you shouldn't be looking for if he's going to be telling the truth or if he's going to cheat or not. That shouldn't even be your concern. You know what I mean?
I agree. I definitely agree. I just don't like liars.
What do you agree with, though?
I agree with that. You shouldn't really try to test nobody. You always get what you look for.
Exactly.
That's all I wanted to say.
All right. So then are we on the same page? Are you agreeing with me or are you?
I'm agreeing with you to a certain point. I mean, you did like take everything out when you said but yeah, I am agreeing with you.
But what part do you disagree with still?
I still feel like you men need to start applying pressure to other men to stop being liars.
And liars in what way? What do you mean by that?
Like y'all don't. It's okay. Like y'all be like, oh yeah, he scored that or he did this. Y'all don't really y'all don't press a man and be like, a man does not lie. Like you don't have to necessarily tell everything or tell your business. He didn't have to tell her that he was in a relationship,
right.
But to entertain the conversation and then lie after that. Y'all need to really hold men accountable to your word is your bond. You are your word, and that's integrity.
I agree.
That's my point.
I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Men have accountability. They should be taking responsibility for behaving that way. For one, he's not ready to be in something serious, and that should be taken into account. So I agree with that. My focus today was just on the women setting it up, but I agree, Lala. I appreciate it. Any last things before I move on?
No, that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Last thing really quick. How'd you hear about the show?
Sergio.
Who's that?
Sergio.
Is he a watcher of the show or something?
He's a fan. Well, he's a watcher. His name is Sergio. I'm not quite sure the rest of his name, but it's Sergio.
Okay, right on. And are you familiar with what we do here at the network, Bond and Jesse and the other guys?
No, I don't. He's given me the link a couple of times, and I've been able to jump in here and there. But
nice.
Just hearing it.
Well, right on. Well, I appreciate you calling in. Call me again.
No problem. I will.
All right.
All right. You have a great day. Okay.
You as well. Bye.
All right.
I love getting calls from people who are not familiar with the message. Because even though I enjoy all the calls, right? Come on. But because they are going to tell you exactly how they're feeling about it, thinking about it, right? They don't have a preconceived answer. So, nice. Let's keep the calls moving. Hold on, let me just check super chats here. Let me check. Hold up. 1 second. I'm looking here. What's Instagram think about this? Shout out to Sergio, too, as well, for putting people onto the show. Shout out Sergio, whoever Sergio is. Right on, Sergio. Oh. Yeah, I know. I know, Sergio. I'm slow. I know, Sergio. Shout out to Sergio. Sending people to the Joe on Friday TV podcast. Sending ladies to the Joe on Friday TV podcast. Right on. Getting the message out. I appreciate it. People need to hear this stuff. And I'm not saying I'm right. Have your own mind, right? Make up your own mind, think for yourself. But this is conversations that people are stuff that people are dealing with in the world that they should question. So shout out to Sergio for putting people on to JFTV. Right on. Let me go to HB out of Washington. HB, welcome to the show. You're on the air. He black.
You remembered. What's up, man? What's up?
What's going on, man?
I'm all right. So, yeah, that New Yorker called in. She said some stuff. I want to get to that, but I first called in to share a scenario with you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so I was actually put in a similar situation to what you're demonstrating. And for context, yeah, everything that you said with respect to why women do it, the process through which they do it, and then also at the end of that clip, when she saw that the boyfriend or whatever their relationship is was faithful, she decided that she didn't want to reveal to him that he was part of this whole process. That is a demonstration of the whole spirit behind it. It's, the New York girl was saying it's entrapment and all that stuff, but the reality of the situation is, if you even find yourself in the position to where you're saying, I'm going to actively provoke and actively tempt somebody to see whether or not I can trust them or whether or not he would cheat on me in this situation or whatever the case is, you're already in the wrong.
Yeah.
And the fact that that girl at the end was so against that just shows that she knows that she was wrong. And if let's say the tables were turned and the guy knew that he was a part of this, he probably would have broke it off, or there would have been some kind of consequence. So in my case, there was this girl I was talking to. This is a while back. And we hadn't talked for a while, so I ended up going to her apartment, and she's rooming with the girl. And so I introduce myself to her roommate, and we're on good terms. And, I take the girl that I'm seeing out to dinner. But before I go, I ask the roommate if she wants anything, because I don't want to breed this kind of like tension in the room or some kind of jealousy where it's like, I'm taking this person out, whatever. I want to make sure that wherever I'm at, everybody's good. Yeah. So I go out, I buy her food, I come back, I give the roommate her order, and it's cool. So, time passes, and, eventually the girl who's black, he black, so of course she got to be black. The girl then starts asking me questions like, would I ever marry a white girl? Her roommate was white at the time. And I was like, no, I don't think I'd marry a white girl. I'd probably entertain a white girl, but I wouldn't marry a white girl.
Okay.
And I think that stuck with her because, long story short, she ends up finding my Twitter. And mind you, at that time, with Twitter, it was like if your Twitter was locked, only certain people who had access to it would know that you even had a Twitter. Like you would search it, but you wouldn't be able to find it.
Right.
So she had my Twitter, and her roommate ends up finding my Twitter and sends me a request to start following me. And so I had to approve it in order for her to follow me, or I could decline it. And so as soon as I get that request, I'm like, well, that's odd. She shouldn't even know what my Twitter handle is.
Yeah.
So I already knew the whole thing that was going on, but I decided to play along. Shout out to Javier D. When women test you and they're testing you, you got to kind of play the game a little bit, because you then get to turn the lesson on them and show them that you know what's going on.
Give us an example of what you mean by that. So,
okay, so this is how I handled the situation. So I accepted her request, and I started having this conversation with her. And it was a very casual conversation, but the more the conversation progressed, the more she tried to make it seem as though I had come on to her. And right. I made it clear that she sent me the request first.
Right.
And that the only reason why we were talking is because I approved the request. And then I asked her, well, how did you get my handle in the first place? And she wouldn't tell me. And so I was like, okay, well, I already know what this is. And then I started making these jokes where I was like, you really sound familiar. You remind me of, and I started saying the girl's name that I was talking to. It's almost like you guys are kind of the same person. Because I could easily see a scenario where they're sitting next to each other saying oh, let's say this to him and see how he responds. Let's say that to him and see, trying to play that game. And so I ended up blocking her, because at the end of the conversation, I was like, all right, well, I'm done with this game. Blocked. Yeah. And she got all upset. And so I end up, the next day I end up on a phone call conversation with this girl, the girl that I was talking to. And, she kind of starts making these insinuations that like I'm a cheater and all that. And I was like, wait a minute. And then I started breaking down the situation. I said, well, the reality of the situation is you gave her my handle with the intent to see if I had any kind of romantic affection for her.
Yeah.
So in reality, you put me in this situation and I'm bringing it to your doorstep. And she didn't even want to admit that she sent her the handle.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah. And so it became this whole thing where like, and kind of to rub it in her face, I was like, you guys are actually very similar. When I was talking to her, she reminded me a lot of you. She was like, that like triggered her ego so much because I guess, she kind of has this she had the superiority complex. But what it did was it showed her that not only do I know that she's the type of person who would manipulate somebody who has nothing but goodwill towards me in order to get what she wants,
right?
But I'm also the type of person who is keen enough to leverage that situation against her and then put her in the corner that she tried to put me in. And so with guys, like, it's kind of the whole Adam and Eve thing, being in the garden again, where it's like, no matter what kind of temptation you find yourself in, no matter what the world tries to do to you, you always have to have that spiritual center, that moral integrity, because people will try to bring out the worst in you.
Yeah.
And they're never going to look at their part in actually doing that. They're only going to say, oh, well, he's this kind of person naturally, so he reacted in this way.
Well,
go ahead.
Let me jump in there just because of time here, is that first I want to ask, and then I'll bring the point back to the story, is how did you meet this person that was doing this testing?
Oh, we went to the same school. Yeah, we went to the same school.
So then, like, how did you get in contact with each other? Was it like on Facebook or something? Like, oh, I remember you. Like,
No. We were at the same school, and I had basically transferred from that school to a different school, and then come to find out she had transferred to the same school.
I see.
And so I had met her in passing, but at that time, I was focused. I had really no interest in her.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, it was like my sister started reaching out to me like, oh yeah, this girl is like talking to me. She's asking me about you. She saw that you graduated. She wants to make a post about it. And I was like, all right. And so I was like, all right, well, let me see what's going on with that. And then come to find out, my intuition was right the first time about it, because it's like when you find yourself in a position where you're being tested, and this is, I guess, for all the guys out there, that you're kind of you're dealing with somebody that you don't need to be dealing with. So
because I want to say is that, like, I realize that there's situations that come out that most people live by, that are exactly what you're explaining, meaning like each person is testing each other, or they're trying to do all these things. But that's the false way of living. Then there's another way that most people do not know about, to where when it's added and it happens naturally, to where these things tend to just fall in place, meaning like it just happens naturally, it's flowing naturally. You guys are getting along. You guys are on the same page, and it doesn't mean that challenges won't happen either, and stuff like that. But if both people are working on themselves, then these things don't even come up. So I think that the failure comes in. I don't mean failure, but the bad situations come in when people are operating in the wrong place, chasing the woman, or wanting something from the person, or having a preconceived idea of the type of people they're into or who they want, and all these things. You're gonna only get the result that most people get.
You're only going to get what you're looking for.
Exactly.
You're only going to get what you're looking for. But what I'll say is this, and I guess this will answer the New York lady, but it will also address your point as well. The perfect relationship, like you said, is not one where you're both testing each other to see what your breaking point is. The perfect relationship is where both people are focused on God, focused on themselves, like you said, and are living in accordance to that. So on an everyday basis, I can trust that even if she does make mistakes, she being my wife, of course.
Yeah.
She still...
Oh, go ahead. I thought you were done. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. What I was going to say, she still has the spiritual integrity to get back up, like Proverbs says, where if you fall 7 times, the righteous man / woman will stand up the 8th time.
Yeah.
And if I have that level of grace and understanding with her, and she's my wife, of course she mirrors that and has that same level of grace and understanding with me.
Yeah.
More so on my side because I'm the head, but that's the reality of the situation. So
Yeah.
if you're a woman and you're asking yourself, to the New York girl specifically, how can I make sure that this guy is not going to cheat, not going to do this? Your word should be your bond. The key indicator of that is the kind of person you are.
Yeah.
If you're the type of person whose word is their bond, you say what you're going to do, you do what you're going to say, naturally you're going to attract people to you who represent that, but then at the same time, you're going to be able to tell who isn't like that, and you're not going to be putting yourself in position to be taking advantage of the people. And so on and so forth.
No, you're right. And just to add to that, really quick, and then I gotta move the calls. Is that if you judge, you're gonna be judged. So if you're looking for something in another person, you're judging them. You're gonna be judged as well. So you put out what you want to get back. So if you're gonna be the one trying to expose somebody, or you're gonna be the one to try to judge them for a mistake they make, then you're gonna be judged.
Oh, you're getting exposed.
They're gonna give that right back to you. So it's you just gotta really keep your eyes on yourself. But I appreciate it. Last thought though. Yeah, really quick.
You can't do anything in this world without exposing yourself first. So if you're going to try to expose someone, you've already exposed yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right on, man. Appreciate it. Call me again. Good stuff, man.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right. Nice. I want to say one last thing, and then I'm going to just keep the calls moving because we got to end in a second here. I want to say this is obedience and we'll just stick with obedience. Obedience is not an agreement, okay? Because there's no amount of words you can say or agreements you can have with a person verbally that's going to make it true. So if I tell somebody, are you going to obey? And she says yes, that's just an agreement, but it doesn't make it true. If obedience is there, if she's going to obey, if he's going to lead, whatever, if he's all those things that are on the checklist that don't exist, right? But let's just say the qualities that he should have, you will know and you will see, right? Because obedience is not a agreement. It's a way of living, right? It's a way of being. You are that, right? So if a woman's saying she's obedient, you don't even need her word for it. You would just see it in how she lives her life. You would just see it in how she approaches you. You would just see it as her, it'll just be a part of her character. It's a part of, who she is. And the same with the guy. You just see it. You don't need to know by a word he says or an action he takes, because people are going to make mistakes. People are going to say the wrong things. People are going to be learning on the way. So you can't judge that. I say it all the time, salvation is of the heart, right? And what is of the heart will be revealed, will be shown for those that are seeking and paying attention, whose eyes are open. They will see. And you can only know by seeing. You're never going to know by agreeing. What the? Obedience and leadership, whatever you want to say the man should have and a woman should have. Let's just say obedience and leadership is not an agreement. Will you obey? Yeah, cool. Will you be a leader? Yeah, cool. Let's get married. No. It's a way of being. It's a part of your character, and you'll see it in the person. And you won't ever question it. You won't even have to ask. If you got to ask, then you're blind and she's blind. Really. Really. if you have to ask, both of you guys are blind. And nobody got it. Nobody leading and nobody obeying. Because it ain't a verbal conversation. It's a knowing. You see. So, Lord have mercy. But we just having fun. John Zimmer says ladies caught up in this type of mess, spying, lying on their men, are generally guilty of this behavior. It's an interesting point. They're just projecting, hating, and they can't help it. Silly stuff. All is well, but be careful what you wish for, ladies. That's true. That's true. You know what I mean? And it goes back to if you're judging, you're being judged, right? It's true. And what are you hiding? What secrets do you have that you're hiding, that you're projecting? And at the end of the day, it's just insecurity, and they can't help it. And guys do it too. And this is a hat tip to Lala, if she's still listening. Guys do it too, Lala. Yeah, that is true. I was talking about the ladies, but guys do it too. And it's just a mess. It's just a mess on both, whoever does it. If you judge, you'll be judged. I know that for a fact. I've seen it in my own life. So, anyway. Right on, John Zimmer. You're right on the money. Appreciate that. Amazing stuff. Let me go to William out of California. William, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, man, what's going on?
How's it going, William?
All right. Hey, man, we just really need to just rename your show to The Love Boat.
The Love Boat?
Jesus Christ.
Is that...
What a hell of a question. What a hell of a question. What a hell of a subject, let's put it that way.
Right on. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's all good, man.
Right
it's
on.
All good. It's all about how the men handle it. You know what I mean? Because I thought the question was, when women test men, how do we get to men lie?
Right. Exactly. That was the original question.
It's just like black people. When you ask about black people, what's wrong with the blacks? First thing they say is something about whites.
That's a good
so
point.
I just stay on task. It's been a while, but I just have a different attitude about it. I don't need to walk. Look, I don't need to run down the hill to get one of those cows. I can walk down and get them all. And I've half been in situations like that. And it's like, how dare you even try to test me?
Yeah. No.
Because that phone's open. It's sitting on the coffee table. Everything's right there.
Right.
And
do you believe
it's been a lot.
Do you believe that if the women look for it, they'll find something?
Let me tell you a little story, and it's a real short one.
Okay.
I told one time, a long time ago, she got to go to the bathroom. She goes and picks the master bedroom. When she went in that bedroom and went in that bathroom and opened that medicine cabinet and closed it, I was behind her. I looked at her and said, you know what? You keep looking for something, you are going to find it.
Yeah. That is for sure.
See, when you think you're testing me, you're being tested to see if you'll test me. So stay ahead of them.
Right. And that's
too many women, too many of them out there.
No,
that's so common. That's so common for a woman to do something like that.
And it's great, and it's crazy because it could be totally a lie. And let me know what you think about this, William. It could be totally a lie that what they think they found, right? They found something in your phone, and it can be totally not true, but the mind was already looking for something, and it's gonna change. It's gonna create something from nothing and make it a big deal. And you can't even tell them that it's not true because they think that they found it, you know?
You were being tested when you started trying to test me.
Yeah.
Okay. Men stay ahead of everything. Men really do stay ahead of everything. If they're immature, they may not.
Right.
They may get all excited about that. But if you stay ahead of everything in your life first, before you, young lady, even come around,
Yeah.
Like I said, that woman opened that medicine cabinet. I do not know what she was looking for. Remnants of a woman? I don't know what she was looking for.
Right.
But when she closed that medicine cabinet and that mirror reflected me standing behind her,
you popped up like a scary movie in the back, huh?
it scared the hell out of her. And I told her, I said, you know what? You keep looking for something and you're going to find it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing hidden in this house. And this is my house.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you to use the other bathroom.
Right. Exactly. Right on, William. Great point, man. I got to end the show, but great point, man. Thank you for calling. And,
all right, love boat.
All right. All right, man. Call me again.
All right, man.
All right. Amazing stuff. That's funny. I could just I pictured her closing. I pictured her closing the cabinet and William's just right there. I just imagine like William being this tall black man, and she closed it. He just standing right there like the scary movie. It's hilarious. But he's making a good point. It's like, what you ain't even supposed to be in here. What you doing? You don't need to look. And of course, you're going to be a little curious and stuff like that. That's fine. Right? But it's just a setup. You'll know everything you need to know if you just stay present. This goes for guys and girls, both people. If you just stay present, you will know everything you need to know before you get married married with the person. You'll know exactly you'll know all you need to know. Because people think you need to know everything. No, you don't need to know everything. And you're gonna be learning stuff about that person till they die. So you'll know just enough of what you need to know before you marry the person. And that's it, if you just stay present. You don't need to dig, you don't need to search, you don't need to study, you don't need to ask their family and friends, you don't need to dig up dirt, you don't need to go back to the past, you don't need to wonder about the future, you don't need to do none of that stuff. If you stay present, everything you need to know and all you need to know will be right there. I gotta end. The love boat gotta go. I gotta sail off to another place. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the calls. I appreciate the super chats. And shout out to IG, Facebook, YouTube, and Punchy.tv. The comment section is going crazy. I appreciate it. Keep sending the messages out. Share, like, subscribe. Punchy TV, brand new episode coming today at 2 p.m. in a couple hours here. 2 p.m. Pacific time. Woo! We got into some more stuff. And that's what four of the other co-hosts, or four total. And we got into some stuff. So make sure you guys tune in to Punchy.tv, featuring myself and the other guest hosts as well. Amazing stuff. Joel Friday TV, American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll get into some more stuff. Who knows? Until next time, y'all, I gotta go. Bye.